My stepchildren turned against me after their mom returned. Heartbreaking divorce story. It started with love, pure, intentional love, not just for a man, but for the children who came with him. When I married my husband, I didn't just become a wife. I became a stepmother to 16-year-old twins who had been without their biological mother for 8 years. I stepped into their lives gently, with care and patience, and over time, they started calling me Mom. I poured everything I had into building our home. I listened, supported, cooked, showed up for every school event, sat through heartbreaks, and stayed up during exam nights. We laughed, we struggled, we created traditions. I believed, truly believed, that we were a family. But love, I would come to learn, isn't always enough. When I met Mark, I was 28, confident, independent. I had built a life I was proud of, but I longed for more, a family. Mark had twin teens, Ella and Evan, whose mother had left them when they were just 8. He was open from the beginning about his children being his top priority, and I respected that. Our courtship was sweet, intentional. He introduced me to the twins slowly. They were cautious, and rightly so. I was an outsider, a stranger to their history and pain, but I showed up consistently. I didn't try to replace their mother. I just wanted to be there. Eventually, walls came down. They laughed at my jokes. They asked me for advice. They called me Mom, one day over breakfast, and I cried. Our life together wasn't perfect, but it was real. I married Mark 2 years later, and I was officially their stepmom. We celebrated birthdays, built new traditions, and even talked about adoption. I was proud of our little tribe. I thought the hardest part was over. I thought we had made it. Then came the message. Their biological mother wanted to reconnect. Out of nowhere, after 8 years, she was back. At first, I supported it. Every child deserves the chance to know their parents. I encouraged them to meet her. I even drove them to their first lunch together. But what started as curiosity quickly became confusion. She gave them gifts, whispered stories about the past that I wasn't part of. The twins began pulling away. Family dinners became tense. The word Mom vanished from their lips. Then came the names. It started small. Ella called me by my first name during a minor argument. Evan followed suit a week later. I tried to hold it together, to tell myself it was just a phase. Then Evan called me a fake mom during a shouting match. The words hit me like a freight train. The twins became more defiant, often echoing sentiments that could only have come from their mother. I felt betrayed, not just by them, but by the man I married. Mark didn't step in. He didn't correct them. He said things like, "They're just confused," or "Let them figure it out." But I was drowning. I canceled our planned trip to Disney World, hoping to send a message. Instead, it backfired. I was the villain. One night, after a particularly explosive argument, I left. I drove to a hotel and cried for hours. Days later, I moved into a small rental. I told Mark I needed space. I waited for him to fight for me. He didn't. Instead, he said he understood. I filed for divorce a week later. It felt like failure. I had lost my husband, my home, and the children I loved as my own. But amid the grief, there was something else, a quiet strength. I bought my own house. I traveled to places I had always dreamed of. I started therapy. I journaled. I didn't shut the twins out. I sent birthday cards. I texted to check in. Ella responded sometimes. Evan never did. That's okay. I realized I had to let go of the story I had written in my head. Family, love, identity, they are all complicated, but they're also resilient. I learned that sometimes doing the right thing still ends in heartbreak. I learned that love given freely is never wasted. I learned that stepping back isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the bravest thing we can do. And I learned that my worth was never tied to a title, not wife, not mom. I am still healing, but I am also free. To every stepmom reading this, I see you. I know what it feels like to give your all and still be left behind. I know the sting of being called by your first name. I know the ache of loving children who no longer call you theirs. But I also know your love matters. It shaped lives. It held space. It showed up when others didn't. You are not a placeholder. You are a chapter in someone's story, a beautiful, vital chapter. Don't let pain make you hard. Let it make you wise. Don't let heartbreak silence you. Let it give you a voice. Your story isn't over. In fact, it might just be beginning.